Speaker.
Alfred Naro.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You know, when the opposition are still in Halloween mode because they're getting out there with their boogeyman sort of masks, trying to scare ordinary Kiwis with their trick-or-treat speeches. But, Mr. Speaker, here's a little bit of the truth that they might like to hear, especially Mr. Phil Twyford, who's a great fan of the Lyndon Baines Johnson fan club. And I'm sure that people will know about that. Mr. Speaker, let's get to the point. Here's the point. There's just one point I want to make. The member who's just read his speech, and that's the tragedy when people read speeches who haven't been a part of Select Committee or the deliberation. The issue is about this. The third sector, Mr. Speaker, the third sector. So we have the Housing Shareholders Advisory Group, led by Dr. Alan Jackson. But guess what? Here are some other members you might like to know. Diane Robertson from the Auckland City Mission, Major Campbell Roberts, Salvation Army, Brian Donnelly, New Zealand Housing Foundation, Paul White from Iwi Development. And here's what they said. In 2010, they had a report. They had 16 recommendations. One of them was the importance to ensure that they had a third sector that met the needs of the social sector market. That's what they said. That's what they said. These are recommendations that have come from them. They said this: there is no one silver bullet or magic bullet that will solve the answers, but New Zealand must need to come up to international standards. So that's the reason why they made the recommendations. There is the third sector, the housing sector, that truly can make a difference to the sector as well. And here's the things why it's really important. Second thing that they did, they talked about income-related rents. Annette King talked about the 61,000 State House tenants, and yes, there are 4,800 that pay market rents. But do we know the number who are on a priority listing? Those who come to our constituent offices, those who see us with absolute need, 3,851. So tell me this, if you're concerned about the needs of those who are most in need, why wouldn't you want to provide provision for them? For those who can, they should. That's what this review is doing. That's what this bill is doing, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this is a bill that absolutely is meeting the needs. It's consulted, it's engaged with those who absolutely know. We support this bill. We support this bill because this is a good bill that the Minister's put forward. I recommend this bill to the House.
Dr. Rajan Prasad.
Thank you.